I probably met Jennifer, I'm estimating she was around 12 years old. And in the time process, watching her in school, she was one of those individuals. She could sing, she could dance, she was pretty. She tended to be the captain of sports teams. She could really engage in a conversation, really intelligent and in practical ways. The challenge was that when Jennifer was good, she was very good. When she was going to be bad, she was going to be bad. And so the result was she looked for excitement in her life, and in her early teenage years began to hang out with what I called punk gangs at the time, the kind of gangs that would spray paint fences and garages. And Jennifer quickly progressed to, by the time she was around 14, maybe early 15 years of age, she was running with the worst gang in Calgary. And she would run away from home for fun. Run with the gang, do things on the street as a young lady would. But for her, it was all the excitement of it. And then one day I get a call from her stepmom saying, "Jack, we're so concerned about Jennifer. She's run away from home again." They knew she was staying at Avenue 15, which is a place in Calgary that runaway youth could stay at. And so we arranged it where I, on a Friday night, could pick her up, and I was running youth events at that time for an organization I was working with. So I picked her up, took her to the youth event, and took her out for dinner after. And as I'm talking to her over dinner and just, again, trying to get through to her about the person she really could be and the strength she had, and again, she just wanted to stay very surfaced. So we didn't really connect on a deeper level at that time. We had an okay conversation and it lasted quite a while. It just never went deep. And I remember when I was dropping her off at Avenue 15, I remember looking at her as she's getting out of the vehicle, and I just said, "Jennifer, this isn't Hollywood. You could die out there." And she looked me straight in the eye and she said, "Don't worry, Jack, I can handle it." And it was I believe about 10 days after that I got a call from her stepmom asking if I'd heard from Jennifer, because they hadn't heard from her in about a week, which was unusual. Even when she would run away, she would still call them every day. And it was maybe a week or so after that, I was actually coming out of a school where I had been teaching the early form of heroes to students, and I was coming out of the school, and the school called me and said, "Jack, we got a call, somebody needs you to call them urgently." And I called, it was Jennifer's stepmom, and she informed me that they'd found Jennifer's body. And that's pretty tough. Probably one of those heart moments that causes you to feel we've got to do more.